LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lenny. The Blonde Lady by Maurice Leblanc. Translated by Alexandre Teixeira de Matos. Chapter 6. The second arrest of Arsène Lupin. By 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, a dozen Pantechnicon vans were blocking the Rue Crevaux from the Avenue du Bois de Boulogne to the Avenue Rougeau. Monsieur Félix Davy was leaving the flat which he occupied on the 4th floor of number 8, and, by a sheer coincidence, for the two gentlemen were not acquainted, Monsieur Duberry, the expert, who had knocked into one, the 5th floor flat of number 8, and the 5th floor flats of the two adjoining houses, had selected the same day on which to send off the collection of furniture and antiques, which used to be visited daily by one or other of his many foreign correspondents. A peculiarity which attracted notice in the neighborhood, but which was not mentioned until later, was that none of the 12 vans bore the name and address of the firm of removers, and that none of the men in charge of them loitered in the wine shops round about. They worked to such good purpose that all was over by 11 o'clock. Nothing remained but those piles of old papers and rags, which are always left behind in the corners of empty rooms. Monsieur Félix Davy was a young man of smart appearance, dressed in the latest fashion, and carrying a heavily weighted cane, which seemed to indicate unusual muscular strength on the part of its owner. He walked away quietly and sat down on a bench in the cross alley which intersects the Avenue du Bois, opposite the Rue Pergolese. Beside him sat a young woman, clad in the costume of the lower middle class, reading her paper, while a child played with its spade in the sand beside her. Presently, Félix Davy said to the woman, without turning his head, "Ganimard went out at 9 o'clock this morning." "Where to?" "Police headquarters." "Alone?" "Yes." "No telegram last night?" "No." "Do they still trust you at the house?" "Yes. I do odd work for Madame Ganimard, and she tells me all her husband does. We spent the morning together." "Good. Continue to come here at 11 every morning, until further orders." He rose and walked to the Pavillon Chinois, near the Porte Dauphine, where he took a frugal meal: 2 eggs, some vegetables, and a little fruit.